to you live from just outside the Library of Graphic Literature here in downtown St. John's with an outdoors edition of In the Library of Graphic Literature in Bannerman Park with me, your host, Wallace Ryan. So yeah, I packed up some books and I made myself a cup of tea, and I know it's going to be maybe a bit loud, and because we got a street behind us here. As a matter of fact, the library is just behind me here, across the street. So I live right across from this beautiful park here. I'll give you a spin of it just at the end of the video and see what you think. Anyway, like I say, you can hear how loud some people get. Some people, eh? No manners. Anyway, there's only a couple of books in this week, but I figured I'd throw in a couple of classics to talk about and a recent new classic. So anyway, let's get started with the Super Friends Saturday morning comics. Now this is I forgot my razor blade here for opening these, so I brought a pen with me. So anyway, this is a book, of course, based on the cartoon series Super Friends, covered by, of course, the immortal Alex Toth. And inside, and the main reason I got this is I'm actually a big Ramona Fradon fan, and she actually does do the inside art for this beautiful book here. Yeah. So yeah, I think she does it all. Bob Smith, of course, inking her. Let's double check. This is volume 1, 2, by the way. Oh, Kurt Schaffenberger and Rick Estrada. Alex Toth. Ooh, oh, excellent. Okay. I like Estrada, and I actually like Kurt Schaffenberger too. So, you know, some cool artwork. Let's get a close look here. Kind of loud, isn't it, for a park? So yeah, this is, so it's kind of like an animated version, or comic book version of an animated cartoon, which, you know, is set in a slightly different universe, but it's pretty cool. And like I say, love Ramona, and I love Kurt Schaffenberger too, so when I seen his name attached to it, it's just like, oh, I gotta get this, just to check it out. Some cool stuff by good old Alex Toth. Beauty, hey? So yeah, check this out for sure. Now, what do we have next in our little pile here? Okay. Pile it there. Oh yes, from the good folks at Dark Horse, based on the award-winning novel by Neil Gaiman, comes American Gods. With P. Craig Russell and Scott Hampton. The novel itself, like I say, great novel, and I've actually started reading part of the graphic adaptation of it, and it's a good adaptation. And why shouldn't it be? Because it's being done by Gaiman and P. Craig Russell, you know, so got to be good. But yeah, it's, from what I've read so far, I'm only into the first book so far, but I have actually read the actual novel, the prose novel. So I think it's a good adaptation. So any of you, if you're fans of Neil Gaiman or of American Gods, give this a shot. Love the artwork here. Let's have a look. It's basically it's an interesting mixture. Layouts and script by Russell and the art by Hampton. So, but the neat thing is, it still has a Russell-esque feel to it, even though the art is by Hampton. So yeah, check it out. Absolutely amazing. Like I say, great story, absolutely great story. Now, I don't want to get too close because I want to give away the ending, but like I say, great art and great writing from Neil Gaiman. Hey man, what more can you ask for, hey? It's absolutely fabulous. Speaking of Neil Gaiman, with the Eternals movie coming up, I figured, well, let's have a look at Neil Gaiman's Eternals, but also have a look at Jack Kirby's Eternals. I bought this when I was a kid, of course. This series, I was a newly minted Kirby fan. I mean, I'd seen his stuff throughout my life and that. But, it was only, and same with a lot of people, it's only as you get older that you realize what a genius Jack Kirby is. And of course, I did realize it. And this was of course, when he returned to Marvel. This was one of the books he did, one of his own, The Eternals. And it was kind of like in a way, it was a continuation of the Fourth World in a way. And I loved it, actually. It was just like the characters were still fresh, the ideas. I mean, he was, working with modern tropes at the time, the whole thing with UFOs and chariots of the gods. It was pretty cool. And I mean, in this one too, you really get to see Kirby's use of scale. When he shows the giant spacecraft and all that, it feels like a giant spacecraft. So let's have a look here. Absolutely stunning. And I love the start of it there as they come into finding this tomb. And there we go again. There's that scale I talk about. You see it later on when you see some of the bigger ships. There's the deviants. I mean, he added such another layer onto eventually what would be added onto the Marvel Universe. This one I always loved, the Eternals, the Celestials, the coming of the Celestials. And look at this. This is, I mean, come on, look at this. That is epic. That's cosmic. And look at the figures down there. He just, like I say, Kirby had a thing with being able to portray scale. But what I liked about this too was that just once again, the sheer imagination was still there. I loved his portrayal of the Eternals. I mean, they looked like gods, very enigmatic, and especially there was the one of the guy with the thumbprint that would end the world. This guy here, and absolutely stunning. There he is. That's the guy there. He's the one waiting to see if Earth was worthy or not. But yeah, one of my favorites too is when they send a missile in to try to get these. Oh, and the Unimind. It was a cool one. Carcass, another cool thing. This is at the astronauts. I always loved that that episode. One of the great ones. See? Oh, and the Hulk. Well, this one they just brought. It's not really the Hulk. It's a robot Hulk they brought in for, to torture Kirby, I think. But yeah, anyway, they kept going along, and it went for, I think it was 18 issues. They went, and this being, of course, the 19. This, of course, being the last regular issue. There was also an annual. But yeah, like I say, pure imagination. Check it out. This is well worth getting. Okay, now, along with that, let's go back to back with Mr. Neil Gaiman here. And this was his take on the Eternals. I actually bought this at the New York Comic Con. This is with John Romita Jr. And of course, I know. Oh, hang on, gotta have some tea here. Why not, right? Delish. Anyway, so when I bought this, it was just like, oh, I wonder if Gaiman is able to take on and deliver with, one of my all-time favorite Kirby works. Because a lot of times, to be quite honest, over the years, there's very few people who've been able to follow Kirby up in the manner befitting the king, right? I think, Simonson was able to do it with his works on Orion. There's only a few who've really been able to get it right. And this Gaiman was one of them. He got it, and he was able to expand on the whole Eternals mythology and all that, and do an amazing job with it. And of course, I love the work that John Romita Jr. does on it. I mean, he does have a bit of a Kirby in his style. I know a lot of people either don't see it or don't want to see it or whatever, but he's a good choice for this one. So this one for a Kirby adaptation, I give him a 4.5 out of 5. It's really well worth it. And it starts basically where they're rediscovering who they are and all that. For some reason, they've all lost their memory, and it comes back, and just absolutely stunning artwork. Great storytelling. Yeah, there's the folks. And I mean, he changed the costumes, but not too much. A lot of times when they change costumes, they change it too much, or they make it, they make it look terrible. And this, like I say, this is so well worth picking up. Anyone who's a fan of the Eternals will be a fan of this series. Well worth it. Buy this book. Oh. So I'm sort of getting through pretty quick here. But yeah, like I say, if you're an Eternals fan, this is the best. Same with the Kirby one. All the other Eternals appearances of the Eternals and stuff like that haven't been that great, right? I haven't been fans of it anyway. Now we're going to end it with this. Borrowed this from my friend Jason from his store, because Dennis, as you know, Dennis Osborne, who I do my Thursday comics podcast with, he actually recommended this. He said you should check out the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because it's it's sort of a reboot, but with a slightly different touch to it. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but when I read it, it was just like, geez, this is not bad. And I took it home with me to finish reading it off and all that. And it was just, and I only got at least 2 or 3 issues in, but it was just like, now this is a reboot. Speaking of reboots with Eternals, this is a reboot, definitely worth it. And I mean, they're I can't remember what number they're up to now, but I mean, it's still going. It's definitely gone longer than the original series, for sure. And seems to be pretty popular. And I read it. I'm a big fan of the early Turtles, not so much the Archie Turtles, of course, and the TV Turtles. I like the first movie though. The first movie was good. But this, had a read of this, not bad at all. Not bad at all. So I recommend go to your local. There's several printings of this. I think this is like a this must be the 3rd printing, I would say, by now. It doesn't say actually, but yeah, but definitely definitely worth getting. I like the artwork, the story. Like I say, it's the same with the Eternals. I like it when people can take an original creation and add their own twist to it. Very much like Alan Moore when he took Swamp Thing and he added the thing of Swamp Thing being a plant that thought it was Alex Holland. It's those sort of neat little twists that a good writer can do. Take a great existing property and they make it their own, but in a cool way. Same with Tom King. Tom King can take other people's works and make them his own. He made the Vision his own. Even his Mr. Miracle, not bad for taking a Kirby creation and doing it justice. So check it out. Anyway, I'll show you a few pages of this. Like I say, it starts out, like I say, slightly different origin. I mean, same idea with the rat and the turtles and radioactive goo. But there's one slight difference in it. I'm not going to tell you what, because it kind of would ruin it if I told you ahead of time. But yeah, so worth buying and so worth reading. I'm going to see if I can read most of this the weekend. So there you go, check it out. definitely worth it. Boom, boom, boom. And I mean, gee, see, it's a hefty little volume for, for 65 bucks, a hefty little volume for a good price. So check it out, you turtle fans. Get turtleized. Oh, well, I guess that's it for this week. Looking around, it's after 6 o'clock here, Eastern or Newfoundland Standard Time out here on the far eastern reaches of North America. And it's a beautiful day out here. It's 20 degrees Celsius plus maybe, which would be about 70 degrees Fahrenheit for you Americans out there. But anyway, it's been great chatting with you. I just had to shoot the show outside today. It was just such a beautiful day. It was just like, yeah, I gotta take the show outside. I was actually gonna sit on my step in front of the house and do it there, but I mean the traffic was just, as you listen to it, right? So I said, man, I'm gonna go over to the park. This is my park. It's right across the street. I fell in love in this park with my wife, my late wife Linda. Spent many great times here. I've gone to many folk festival here, and it's like the soul of downtown. I love this park. Anyway, so if you ever come to St. John's, Newfoundland, check out Bannerman Park. It's very cool. Anyway, I guess that's it. I'm just going to turn this off, and but I'm going to give it a little bit of a spin around so you can get a sense of what the park is like before I turn off the camera. Anyway, check out next week. There will be a Thursday Comics. Well, check it out when it's posted and all that, and keep on buying comics. Love you folks, and we'll see you in the library next week. Okay, now I'll give you a little quick tour of it as I dismantle this. Okay, here we go. Now, as a matter of fact, over there, that house with the single a window on the top of the floor, that's my house there. And this is the park here. Beautiful park. A lot of people out too today, having fun, just like me. And look at these flowers, looking good. Okay, folks, we'll see you next week. Love you. Take care of yourselves, and keep on reading. How's that for a bit of nature? Okay, see you next week. Bye.